Royal family, welcome to my channel. My name is the picker card Empress, and today we're asking what's happening with the third party. So, if your person is with someone else, we're going to have a look at that connection, and in the extended, we look at your connection and what's going to be your person's next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading. Okay, so the first pile is the Dream Visions Tarot and the sombrero. And this is the box. And the second pile is the Dame Darcy, the Mermaid Tarot by Dame Darcy, and Mount Vesuvius. And this is the box. And the third pile is the Dreams of the Nile Tarot and this Zangoa Germany fridge magnet, and this is the box. Okay, so do your thing, pick your pile, and I'm going to be back with your reading. Royal family, welcome to my channel. My name is the Pick a Card Empress, and today we are asking what is happening with the third party connection. Now, we have 3 piles. Don't worry about the shaking. I'll put it on a tripod after. This is just to show you the overhead view. The first pile is the Dream Visions Tarot, and that sombrero, I think I got that in Puerto Rico. The second pile is the Mermaid Tarot by Dame Darcy, and that is Mount Vesuvius in Rome. Am I saying that right? Yeah. And the next pile is the Dreams of the Nile Tarot and that fridge magnet from Zangoa, Germany. Okay, so I'm going to be back in a moment to show you the boxes because sometimes they help. But do your thing, pick your pile, and I'll see you at your reading. Hey, pile 1, if you chose the sombrero and the Dream Visions Tarot, this is going to be your reading. So what we're going to do, we're going to start the reading as we always do by getting some significators for your person's energy generally and then the energy towards the third party. And what that's going to do is provide a framework or a context within which we're going to interpret the messages that come through. Now, this is the Mystical Shaman Oracle, which I have never used. I don't recall ever using this deck, and I've had it for about 5 years. So it's the first time. So we have here the rainbow. Okay. Now, when I see the rainbow, I think about all chakras firing all at once. And all of them in alignment. It talks to me about spiritual upgrade. It talks to me about somebody who's balanced. It talks to me about someone who is going through a spiritual awakening. I also see the rainbow aura on persons who have had some sort of initiation done, whether it's Reiki, Moniki, any of those healing modalities done. I usually see a rainbow aura on that person. So maybe it's some sort of spiritual upgrade that your person has. Certainly rainbow can talk about LGBTQIA2S+ relationship. So maybe your person might be coming out or might be becoming more confident or more aware of themselves as a person that aligns to this particular group or this particular identity. There could be that's happening as well. But rainbows have always been about joy, right? They've been about joy and hope and abundance, because remember, there's pots of gold at the end of the rainbow, but they've always been about being happy, right? So this is your person. I feel like feeling happy, feeling content, maybe for the first time for a long time. All right, let's have a look. Their energy generally, your person's energy generally. You know, these new decks don't shuffle as wow. All right, we got 2. So we have the middle world, Middle Earth here. And we have this tree that is growing. But if you look at this tree as well, this tree is also protected. I feel this is your person. right? And the reason why I also feel it's your person, because a card number 36, which reduced to 9, and 9 is always about the individual, right? It's not about a group, it's about the individual. So your person, I think, is very much aware of their place in the world, their place in the family tree. I think they are growing, they're learning, they're getting more grounded in their spirituality, more grounded in their identity. And I think that they have a lot of protection and a lot of assistance and guidance from the universe as they do this. We see these birds here. Birds are always messengers of spirit. We see this force field around your person, so spiritual protection. So I feel like your person is going through a lot of rapid changes, right? And a lot of, you know, awareness downloads as to who they are and what they're meant to do. And as they go through this process, as they start emerging from their cocoon, their healing cocoon, I think they're getting a lot of protection from spirit as they do that. We also have the medicine wheel. Okay. So what I also get as well as a card number 35, which reduced to 8, and that's about our spiritual power. I feel like your person has unlocked some sort of, and maybe that's why I talked about the healing modalities, some sort of healing power, healing energy, some sort of gift that might have been from another lifetime because of the growth that they're doing, and because they've leveled up, they have unlocked. It's just like a video game, right? They have unlocked this particular gift that maybe before to them may not have been accessible. Would not have been accessible. We have the arrowhead. You see that your person has found their true north. They're more secure in their beliefs. They've gotten stronger. And I think this level up that they've gotten has unlocked this. This ain't forbidden, but I don't think the word is forbidden. This mystery information. That's not really mystery. Information from behind the veil. It's unlocked, and it feels like it was not accessible to them before. Featured prominently is the snake, and the snake, well, yeah, people see it as a symbol of temptation and all of that. Especially when we talk about spirituality, or rather, especially when we talk about religion. Let's put it that way. That's when we talk about religion. But when we look at other cultures, I know Quetzalcoatl, it's always about, knowledge, power, protection. When we think about the role that a snake plays in the biblical story, it's about bringing knowledge to the world, bringing knowledge to mankind, right? That's the other side of the coin. So it feels like your person has gotten, the word keeps coming like forbidden knowledge, but I feel like, that's a projection of the world on to spirituality, right? So it's a kind of false narrative, but let's call it what it. Let's call the name that's coming through. They've unlocked this forbidden porridge. Forbidden porridge. Don't know why that came through. This forbidden knowledge, right? We also have the eagle here, which is the highest expression of Aquarius, and Aquarius is all about the forbidden knowledge. It's all about the collective. It's all about enlightenment, right? And then we have here in the back, well, it looks like a lion, but really it might be a panther in the back there. And we also have the hummingbird. Wait, no, it's a jaguar. This is why I spoke about monarchy. These are the archetypes in monarchy. I'm like, oh my goodness, of course. The jaguar, hummingbird spirit, the eagle, and the snake. These are the archetypes in monarchy that we incorporate into the luminous body. So they've definitely gotten an upgrade. Interesting. And it feels like that upgrade that they got is the ability to facilitate healing. I mean, we call them healers, but they're really facilitating a healing process that the individual is doing. Interesting. So it feels like they've unlocked their path. We'll call it a generic term. They've unlocked their path as a healer. Interesting how that came together. Okay. Now they could have been an initiate or recently got attuned to something, as I said before. And I mean like formally. Let's see the energy towards the third party. We have metamorphosis. So even that relationship, well, I shouldn't say even that relationship. Naturally, that relationship will change, right? Once one party changes in the relationship, the dynamic does not remain the same. It cannot remain the same. Because remember, both of them are co-creating it. All right, let's see the energy towards the karmic. We have rescue me. Your person wants to be rescued. And the reason why your person wants to be rescued, because we have a card number 16, and 16 is a tower, right? Everything all fall down, right? Just like London Bridge, all fall down. It is the deconstruction of everything. I think your person here might have already been rescued. They've been airlifted, so they're kind of observing everything deteriorating, everything deconstructing. But and it looks like they're moving forward. 16 reduced to 7, which is the chariot, right? So they've already been airlifted from the situation. They've already kind of detached from that situation. But the other message that I'm getting is that if you were wondering why they may have chosen this person over you, or why these people may have gotten together, it was a kind of rescue relationship. And some of us are primed to be rescuers because we may have had a parent who may have been infantile, because some of our parents may have been emotionally immature, and then you as a child, you end up as the counselor, the advisor, the emotional support, right? You end up as emotional support. You end up being parentified, especially emotionally, right? And then you become a rescuer, always looking for a project or something or somebody to support, because that's the role that you've always played, right? So it feels like your person was primed to be a rescuer. And of course, when they're rescuers, they're always people who need to be rescued. So the damsel in distress, or the gentleman in distress, right? The gentleman in distress. So it feels like that's why they got together. It was a trauma bond. And now, because your person has done so much growth, so much healing, because they've leveled up, because they've unlocked this other level, that bond is falling away. Naturally, they're no longer in resonance, right? That bond is falling away. So that's what's happening at this time. I'm going to pull a card on rescue just to get further information. So the question you should be asking yourself at this time is, are you a damsel in distress? A gentleman in distress? Are they in distress? Or were you primed to be a rescuer? You can tell me in the comments. In your past relationships, did you see the person as a project? We have 8 of Wands moving forward. In your past relationship, did you see yourself as the parent? Were you a parentified child? Right? So we have judgment in reverse. Your person wasn't seeing this relationship clearly, and maybe at some point, this is called the twins, but it's the lover's card, and that's why they choose this person, right? Because their judgment was clouded by their trauma and by their programming. And that trauma and programming builds a kind of shield so that your own intuition, your own instincts, you suppress Yeah. You become magnetized to what you're used to. All right. Now let's ask Spirit. We know that this relationship, it looks like, is falling apart. Let's ask Spirit for some more specifics about what might be happening there. This is the answers deck. Let's see what's happening in this connection. What's happening in the third party? What's happening in the third party, Spirit? We have inspiration, and the inspiration that your person is getting is that they need to free themselves. Whatever jail cell they were in, they need to free themselves. If they love themselves, if they really want to experience true love, they hold the key. Nobody can do it for them. They hold the key. All right, so what's happening in this relationship? What's happening in this relationship? We have vulnerable. What's happening in this relationship? What's happening in this connection? We have generosity. What's happening in this relationship? We have gray-haired woman. And we have doubt. So what I'm getting here is a story. We have masculine and feminine energy here. What I'm getting here is a story. I think that in the beginning, your person was very open, honest, giving, and generous with their time, energy, effort, love, and finances, right? With this karmic energy, with this third party. And I think all they got for their efforts was stress, pain, and a lot of insecurities. Or I shouldn't say they got insecurities. I think their insecurities were amplified because their feelings, their efforts, everything that they put in was not reciprocated. And I think what your person is doing now is exactly what they're doing in this card. They're observing. For once, they are stepping back from in the midst of all the drama and they're observing. Look at them here. They're observing. And that's exactly what they're seeing. So this is what has changed in the relationship, that your person is actually taking time to pause and assess what is happening. Everything that happened before that is they were operating out of their triggers. They were operating out of their trauma. But now that they've gotten to a level where they've kind of stabilized themselves, right? They're able to objectively look at what's happening and see things with very clear eyes. Now, their masculine and feminine energies are in balance. Your person's masculine and feminine energies are in balance. And your person is standing here right now as the sage, right? As the sage, which is the highest level of their intuitive abilities, right? And they're also here as this businessman, this action-oriented person. So they are in balance. And because they are in balance, they can objectively look at the situation and they can see that this isn't going anywhere. Everything is a co-creation. And everything requires effort. And especially in relationships, unless both persons are putting in effort in the relationship, it cannot be sustained. And this is exactly what's happening. So your person was just giving, 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 giving. This third party just taking, 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 taking. And eventually you're going to get drained. You're going to get drained. Everything must be giving and receiving, giving and receiving. And it looks like that didn't happen in this relationship. Let's pull a little cards. Let's clarify a little bit. Spirit, tell us about this vulnerable card. We have the Hermit in reverse, and that's an action card. And we have the World in reverse. Yeah, right now your person feeling kind of exposed, right? Because they are moving into uncharted territory, right? It feels like their world has turned topsy-turvy. Everything that they've ever believed in, they're now doubting, right? They are assessing, right? Everything is changing. The paradigms within which, or the belief systems within which they operated previously have all broken down. And now they feel exposed because there's no mask for them to hide behind, right? They're all raw. Everything that they need to heal, everything that has ever happened to them is laid bare now for their assessment. So they're feeling very vulnerable, and they also feel used. Because as I said, they gave a lot to this connection and they just did not feel the love in return. Let's see this generosity card. 7 of Wands in reverse. Yeah. They were fighting for the connection, but the connection wasn't fighting for them. The other person wasn't fighting for them. And it feels like just recently, some secret was revealed. We have High Priestess in reverse here. Some secret was revealed. Let's see if we get an idea. 4 of Cups. Maybe they revealed to the third party that they're not happy. We have the 4 of Cups here. There's a card of depression. It's a card of boredom. So even though your person invested a lot in this relationship, they're not content, they're not satisfied, and they're certainly not happy. Let's see this gray-haired woman. We have the 6 of Cups. And you know, all these shifts are happening because your person finally loves themselves and they are not bending over backwards to get themselves recognized or validated by this third party. They've come back into union with themselves. That's what this reconciliation card is all about. Now, this gray-haired woman could also talk about the divine feminine and this wish for reconciliation with the divine feminine. Now that they have reconciled with the divine feminine within them, there's also that message that's coming through. So more than ever, they are feeling a strong magnetic pull to you. They're no longer in resonance with this third party, but they're moving closer to being in alignment with you. Now, your person, they have doubts. What do they have doubts about? We have the Emperor here. And we also have the 6 of Wands. Even though your person knows what direction they need to head in, you know, old habits die hard, right? And sometimes it's very scary to let go of what you know and let go of the past. Like right now, one of my very good friends, it looks like they are facing a divorce. And as much as they know that it's the right thing to do and maybe the only logical thing to do at this time, because the connection has deteriorated to such an extent that the love and respect that is not there. You know, she called me last night and she said, I answered the phone. I said, hey, how are you doing? And I didn't hear anything on the line. And then she said, I'm scared. And she is a rough and tough attorney, right? She knows exactly what's going to happen. She's familiar with the law and everything. And she's like, I'm scared, you know, because you're going now into uncharted territory. Who are you after all this happens? Who are you after divorce? Who are you after being a wife? Who are you? Where will you live? What's going to happen? What's going to happen with your arrangement with your children? So there's so many different things that can make you stay stuck in something that's not serving you, but at least it's familiar, you know? And I feel like this is the doubts that your person is feeling at this time. Now, let's look at their thoughts regarding the karmic, right? So we looked at what's happening, that's objectively. But let's see your person's thoughts about the third party. We have 3 of Pentacles. They're thinking about everything that they've built, and this is natural. We have 10 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the King of Wands. And we have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. And it's exactly what I was just telling you about my friend. It is the same message, right? They know what they have to do. In fact, 10 of Pentacles in reverse is a divorce card, right? That is the breakdown of the family. It's a divorce card, it's a breakup. So your person, look them here. They know what they have to do. They know that this is the action that they have to take. King of Wands is an action-oriented guy, right? So they know the action that they have to take. In fact, your person, they have a plan. They have a plan. But then the doubts start creeping in. Who am I after all of this? Look at all we have built together. Am I really going to give that up? That's exactly what your person is thinking about. Can I make it on my own? What if we lose out financially big time and I can't recover? It's those sort of questions. It's that kind of doubt that your person is going through right now. And you know what? That's a very natural thing to feel. And a valid thing to feel too. That's valid. All right, let's look at the heart space energy for the third party or karmic energy. Heart space energy. We have depressed. Yes, we got that. Also very valid when you're going through a big life change like that. We have obsessed. Okay, so they could be obsessing over the details, but this could also go back to that codependent feeling, because that's what obsession is all about. This person has been, part of your identity. Who are you after that? We have vengeful. So we see there's still a lot of anger in your person's energy field. We have pathetic. And changes like big breakups, especially after a long time. And divorce can really take a toll on your self-image, your self-esteem. A lot of people report feeling like a failure, feeling like a loser, feeling rejected, or feeling abandoned. So again, all these are very valid things to feel when faced with a major decision like that. And then uncertain, of course. Uncertain about what the future holds, what's going to happen. There's no guarantees here. Spirit tells us about this obsessed card. We have 6 of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have the Lovers. So even though your person knows that they were breadcrumbed in this relationship, even though they may know that this is a karmic relationship, even though they know that they got the shitty end of the stick in this relationship, there's still some hesitancy about moving forward and moving on because it feels like, there's still a bond between them. There's still a bond between them. We have obsessed, so it might be codependent, but they still feel attached to this person. And as much as they feel attached to this person, there's also a lot of anger coming through as well, because this person that they're with is a Queen of Swords in reverse. And the Queen of Swords in reverse is someone who's verbally abusive. It's someone who's bitter, who's someone who's cutting. They're not kind. Right? So I think your person may have been verbally abused in this relationship. And there's a lot of anger that they have inside, because maybe they're the type that will just sit there and say nothing. They're not very expressive about their feelings. So there's a lot of things that are there to be said, bubbling up inside of them, and they never got an opportunity to say. So now that things are deconstructing and falling apart, it's just there and they just want to offload. That's the energy that I'm feeling. Now, your person also feels pathetic. We have the Empress in reverse. Yeah. And it's because they sacrificed, they feel like, everything to be with this karmic, including you and your relationship. That's how they feel. And what did they get in return? Nothing. Traded the gold for stones. They're uncertain, especially where their financial future and their stability, their material stability is concerned. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So it's everything I just spoke about, right? And again, natural and very valid. Now let's tap into how is the karmic viewing your person and this relationship at this time. 10 of Cups. Your person might be seeing, divorce or breakup might be the only way out, but they still see your person as the one. You're still the one. You're still the one. We have 4 of Cups. They're depressed. We have 6 of Cups, hoping for a reunion, hoping for a reconciliation. And then mine, 4 of Pentacles, not letting go at all. Right? So as far as this karmic is concerned, the reality may have sunken in that this relationship may be on its last legs, but they are not letting go without a fight. You see that there? My precious. It's there. Your person is their precious. Your person is their soulmate. Your person is, this is what they're saying, their only route to happiness. And they are not giving up on that very easily. So if your person thinks that this is going to be some sort of cakewalk here, or walk in the park, they are sadly mistaken. Anyway, what we're going to do in the extended, we're going to look at your relationship. And we're basically going to see, we're going to use basically the same format. And we're going to give insights into what's happening with you, how your person's viewing you. But if you can't join me in the extended, this is Spirit's advice for you at this time. And underneath the deck, the overall energy is the energy of love. It says, behold the world through the eyes of love. And as I read that, there's an older song. I think it's a Caribbean song. Someone Loves You, Honey. I can't sing. It's too early in the morning for that. But Spirit wants you to know that you are loved, not just by this person, but you're surrounded by the love of your family, the love of your friends, and certainly the love of your universe, of the universe. So they want to remind you of that. All right, what's going here? Do not be frustrated. Let go and feel peaceful. All right, so Spirit is saying, listen, you might feel frustrated right now because maybe this that's happening here has been a long time coming. But Spirit is saying, leave them, let them do their thing. Okay? Gotta lose my own language. Leave them, let them do their thing. You step back, right? Just like a person, and observe. And sometimes you don't even have to observe, right? You just have to mind your business. Leave them, let them wrap this up. Because the last thing you want is to be energetically or even physically involved in what's happening here. Because people are always going to look for a scapegoat. When things fall apart, right? They don't want to blame the person that they love. They're going to look for somebody else external to the relationship. So stay far away from this. All right, let's see. Do not be frustrated. Let me get here. Let me see what's going on here. Card number 49 and 49 reduced to 13. Change and transformation. Here it is. Do not be frustrated. Beautiful card. Let go and be peaceful. Feeling unusually frustrated and irritable is an indication that you're burnt out. Facts. Oh, you have PMS like me. Your body may be overwhelmed with life stresses and you may be missing love and excitement in your life. Hafiz refers to this state as the winds of fall in the meadow of life. This is when we are tempted to run away from others and hide in our own bubble. Facts. We forget about the physical, social, and spiritual resources available to us. Hafiz comes as the oracle to help you recognize that there will never be a time when life is simple. You will find peace of mind only when you accept that there's no need to yearn, envy, and grab for what you want. Every moment is a chance to simply let go and feel composed and peaceful. Let that be your centering renewal. Beloved, your soul is surrounded by lovers who move beyond time. There is an ability within you to live more exuberantly than you've ever imagined. If you are experiencing confusion in your life or feeling that things are not going your way, this Sophie wisdom reminds you that it is time for some adjustment. Surrender to the flow is guiding you away from what seems to be your comfort zone. Allow yourself to become more aligned with your inner spiritual growth. So just like your person's being pushed out of their comfort zone right now, Spirit is saying it's happening for you too, right? Allow yourself to become aligned with your inner spiritual growth. Above all, make time for more leisure and relaxation. Have a little fun, explore nature, meet new people, and be open to new experiences. And there's a mantra here for you. I am letting go of what disturbs me and causes me pain. I am determined to overcome the challenges that leave me feeling stuck, frustrated, and hopeless. I will be more open to my heart and to experiencing the joy of life. And with that, I am going to close this reading. So right now, Spirit is saying, if this situation here is frustrating the F out of you, let it go. Let them sort themselves out. You enjoy yourself. You go hang out. You go party if you want to. You go travel if you want to. Enjoy your life. Okay? My loves, that was your reading. If you've not subscribed to the channel, could you subscribe? Like, you can put a comment down below. You can put an emoji. Or you can put a full stop. It helps the channel grow and expand. Take care. Bye. Royal family, welcome to my channel. My name is the picker card Empress. And today we're asking what's happening with the third party. So if your person's with someone else, we're going to have a look at that connection. And in the extended, we look at your connection and what's going to be your person's next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading. Okay, so the first pile is the Dream Visions Tarot and the sombrero. And this is the box. And the second pile is the Dame Darcy, the Mermaid Tarot by Dame Darcy, and Mount Vesuvius. And this is the box. And the third pile is the Dreams of the Nile Tarot and this Zangoa um, Germany fridge magnet. And this is the box. Okay. So do your thing, pick your pile, and I'm going to be back with your reading. Hey, pile 2, if you choose the Mount Sumo Vesuvius fridge magnet, okay, let me just shove this back here. Right. And the Dame Darrow mermaid. What am I saying? Dame Darrow. Dame Darcy mermaid Darrow. What the hell? There's some sort of integration or amalgamation going on. What's that? Anyway, let's see what's going on. Maybe there's some sort of union energy. Dame Darrow. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. So we're going to start as we usually do. Now, we're looking at what's happening with the third party. And we're going to begin by getting two significators. One for your person's energy generally, and one for their energy towards the third party. Okay, so what do we have here? We have fire. And it's a card number 19, which is the sun, which makes sense with this fire energy. Number 19, the sun, is the highest vibration of masculine energy because it is Ra, the sun god, right? So this is your person moving into the highest vibration of who they are spiritually. And this is also about action and especially taking action for your happiness. And sometimes for your happiness, you have to end something. So we have 19 reduced to 10. So that's an ending. In order for something to begin, 10 then reduces to 1. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Let's get a significator for your person's energy generally. This is the Mystical Shaman Oracle. I don't think I've ever used it before. And we have Wild Woman. And the Wild Woman always makes me think of the mystic. And even here, there's a lot of fire. Wild Woman also makes me think of Queen of Wands, right? She is unbound. She's not bound by anything, right? She is all spirit. And it's a card number 62, which reduced to 8. And 8 is also fire energy because it is the strength card. So because we had Ra, I should have taken it out. God, it's probably all over the bloody deck right now. Because we had Ra, the highest vibration of masculine energy. And then we come back here now with Wild Woman, the highest vibration of feminine energy. This tells me, and maybe that's why I got that union energy, is because the union is happening within your person. This is where the balancing out, the union, the integration is happening. It is their masculine and feminine energies finding that middle ground, that unification. This also tells me that the energies of action and the energies of intuition are having a symbiotic relationship. Your person's listening to both right now. And they're not going to allow themselves to, they're not going to live their life. They're not going to take action, and they're not going to listen to any intuition, any advice from persons outside of themselves. They're not interested in what other people think about how they're living their life right now or the actions that they're going to take. They are only listening to the inner voice of their inner masculine and their inner feminine. I'll pull some cards on this, but this is a message that I'm getting right now. This is someone who's following their passion. This is someone who's following their own intuition. the energy towards the third party. We have protecting treasure in reverse. Now, when this protection treasure card is upright, it's about the energy of hoarding. It's about the energy of holding on to things, right? I'm going down with the ship or I'm being buried with my treasure, right? But when it is in reverse, this is about the letting go. Whatever they thought was treasure before, they're letting it go. We have wide open and it is in reverse, and it's a card number 42, which reduces to 6, which is about love and the lovers, right? And when it is upright, it's about on the wings of love. You know, that's how, on the wings of love, right? You're wide open to spirit, you're wide open to this person, you trust this person, right? This person has a heart. But when it is in reverse, your heart is closed to this experience, right? You're more guarded. And this usually comes about because of some sort of betrayal or trauma that may have happened in the relationship. So right now, they've completely shut down from their relationship with the karmic, right? The karmic is now their enemy. The karmic is now their enemy. The third party is their enemy. They've shut shit down. They're not interested in furthering this relationship. They're not interested in this person knowing their inner workings, their inner thoughts. In fact, they are playing their cards very close to their chest where the karmic is concerned, where the third party is concerned, because they don't trust this person. They don't trust that person at all. So let's do some clarification. Underneath the deck, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Now, the Queen of Swords in reverse, she's a very harsh energy. She doesn't know how to communicate her needs very well. And she also has a hair trigger on her most lethal weapon, which is her mouth. When she gets triggered, she goes into what I call annihilation mode. And that is whatever needs to be said to vanquish the enemy. They will say nothing. And I repeat, nothing is off limits to the Queen of Swords in reverse. They are emasculating, they are bitter, they are cutting, they're harsh. And they will tell you, oh, they're just straightforward, they're just, they're plain talking. No, they're cruel. They're cruel and they know it. All right, Spirit, tell us about this energy of the wild woman. And the wild woman is unpredictable because she's moving with her vibes, huh? So it feels like a person, there's been a break in their routine. The wild woman is also unconventional. So if your person had some conventional, I keep merging the words, but it's because your person's merging within. So if your person has some conventional thoughts about life, love, relationships, they are breaking free from that. It's the energy of becoming unbound. And this is a Dane Darcy card. And the Dane Darcy card is about creation. The Dame Darcy, I am merging the words all the time. The Dame Darcy card is about the Ace of Pentacles. So it is literally creating a new life for yourself. It's about reinventing yourself. And it's interesting because I find right here, with this Dame Darcy card, there's a little bit of share, and there's nobody that can reinvent themselves more than share has. And that's exactly what your person is doing. They are reinventing who they are. Now that there's been integration with their masculine and feminine energies, they can't be the same person they were before. It's impossible. So now they're showing their true colors to the world. And this is going to rub some persons in their life the wrong way because they're used to your person doing the right thing, especially doing the right thing for the approval of others and for society. And then your person suddenly like, you know what, fuck this, break out of their chains and just doing all kind of random shit. This is going to rub people around it, especially if prior relationships were based on conventionality and living a kind of false life. Let's see this wild open card in reverse with regard to the third party. And we have here the Ace of Cups. Here, your person ready for something new. Now that they love themselves. And this is what changes everything. The moment you love yourself, you navigate everything differently. Right? Because you put yourself as the focus of attention, which is what you need to do. Right? You can't control what everybody else is doing. You can only control yourself. Right? So from the time you put the focus on yourself to improve yourself, to become the best version of yourself, everything else falls into place, because then you recognize who really has your best interests at heart, who is really of benefit to you, and who really loves you in return. Because you can't recognize love if you don't know love and if you don't embody love. Because what will look like love is really attachment. So now your person really loves themselves and they know what love is. They realize, you see this thing with a third party, I've been calling it love, but this is a trauma. This is trauma bond. This is a trauma bond right now. So the person is realizing. Okay. Now let's see what's happening in your in the third party relationship at this time. I'm going to be using the Gilded Reverie Lenormand, the extended edition. What's happening in this third party connection right now? We have, why is this in reverse? I don't really read reversals, but I am drawn to the fact that the Justice card number 11, is in reverse. But you know what? This is the whip and the broom. And the whip and the broom is basically get your shit together, right? It is about driving away negativity and evil and sweeping away or clearing away of things that don't serve you. It also talks about karma, right? Consequences, right? So everything that you have created finally bearing fruit, and that fruit can either be karmic fruit or divine fruit. And it looks like there's some karmic fruit that's being born right now with this whip and this broom. Okay? So your person getting rid of all the negativity in their life. What's happening in this third party connection? We have here the anchor, right? Your person recognizing now that they love themselves that they are feeling stuck. But look, the anchor is here, but the ship has broken free from the anchor. So what's happening in this third party connection where people may have been stuck previously or may have felt trapped previously? They are now standing in their power. We have a card number 35, which reduced to 8, the strength card. They're now standing in their power. And because they're standing in their power, they have broken free from where they might have felt stuck and stagnated. We have here the Ace of Wands, right? Doing things differently, especially in love. And the Ace of Wands talks about a new beginning. Again, Ace of Wands also talks about standing in your power. And standing in your power to do what? And it's a card number 25, which reduces 7. So this is a Chariot. They're standing in their power and they're exercising their power to move forward. And what are they moving forward in? In love, their love relationships. They may be moving forward from a marriage. This can also be interpreted as such. We have a wedding ring here. Okay. So they might be moving on from that. I'll pull some cards on that for you. Right. We also have, and I think this came out in part 1 as well, the enemy card. Your person may have thought that this person was their true love, but now they realize that this person is the enemy. We have the card number 7, and in conjunction with a 6, it sounds like 7 of Swords, and this is about from somebody plotting against you, right? Somebody actively, and it's not, sometimes people hurt you and they don't mean to. We're not talking about that. This is somebody actively plotting against you, consciously plotting against you. And then we have the Scythe, and the Scythe is about ending things and ending things quickly, right? So it feels like what's happening right now, things have broken down, and it feels like it's heading towards some sort of very swift ending. And your person has really made up their mind. This is a Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles, he is slow, but he is methodical. And it feels like your person has thought about this. So whilst this ending may seem swift, and because of everything that's happening all at once, it's been long in coming. Your person has thought long and hard about it. It's not impulsive. It may seem impulsive to other people involved, but it's not. Your person's thought long and hard about what needs to happen. Spirit, tell us the story about this anchor, or the ship that's broken free from the anchor. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, your person find the strength to do things on their own. Maybe there was a time in this third party connection where they never thought that they could get where they needed to without the third party. Or they were afraid of being abandoned. And maybe you weren't predictable enough. Because your person likes routine. Eh? Well, that's what they did before. They like routine. Routine made them feel safe, right? But now, routine feels like boredom, feels like stagnation now. So they've finally gotten the strength to break free from where they felt stuck and bound. Tell us about this wedding ring. It's like an heirloom as well. We have the 4 of Wands. So for some of you guys, your person may have been married. Okay? And then we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It looks like all of that has fallen apart. The safety and security that they thought they would receive in this connection literally almost drove your person crazy. Knight of Pentacles is when it is in reverse, it is a card of paranoia. It is the energy of the neurotic, right? So the peace of mind that they thought that they would get in this connection, because they view this person as so stable, they did not get it. And it also feels like the third party wasn't as stable as they thought, especially mentally. And this really drove a big wedge in this relationship. When your person thought they would be receiving peace, they got problems always, right? That's exactly what they did. They got problems. And let's see this snake that's plotting for a person. Chariot in reverse. Yeah. It looks like this third party did everything in their power to keep your person stuck, but your person's not having it. Okay? We have the 3 of Pentacles. And the reason why the third party was trying to keep your person really bound, stuck, and entrapped is because whilst your person may not have felt safe and secure in the relationship, this karmic felt very safe and secure in this relationship. And it looks like they built something strong together. They could have even built a house or owned a house together. And they felt your person pulling away. So the scheming that we're seeing here is scheming to keep your person with them. It wasn't scheming to, physically hurt them or anything like that. It's a scheming to keep your person with them. Whether it is baby trapping your person, or because we had the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Swords in reverse, maybe, systematically breaking down your person's self-esteem, that kind of thing. The things that abusers do to keep you stuck and in their craw. They break you down. And it looks like that's what the third party was doing. So even though the third party may perceive this ending as very swift, your person's been thinking about this for a long time, right? They've been thinking about this jailbreak, breaking free for a long time. 8 of Swords in reverse, right? And in fact, maybe the karmic didn't notice, but for a long time, they've not been putting the energy into this relationship. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Let's go a little deeper. Why did I put this back? All right. When your person thinks about the third party connection, where is their mind at? We have King of Wands in reverse. Now, the King of Wands in reverse, he's abusive, and especially physically. He can be very abusive physically. He also has anger issues. Remember we talked about that hair trigger, right? On their anger, right? The King of Wands in reverse has anger issues, and they will explode with the drop of a hat. King of Cups in reverse now. He is emotionally disconnected from himself. And because he's emotionally disconnected from himself, he can't connect emotionally with anybody else. What he can do is be emotionally manipulative. So the King of Cups in reverse is what we will call the covert narcissist, right? They don't have the big delusions of grandeur like the King of Swords in reverse, who is the overt narcissist. This one, they are the ones that are going to manipulate you. They're the ones that are going to guilt trip you. They're the ones that are going to pretend to harm themselves, threaten to unalive themselves. That kind of thing, the gaslighting, this is him. This is what he's going to do. He's going to play on your emotions. This is Scorpio that has not evolved. So they have a lot of insight. They're very perceptive. But what are they using that perceptive energy for? Not for good. They're using it to manipulate others. So this is how your person is seeing a third party. They're seeing them as unstable. They're seeing them as incredibly manipulative. And all your person is thinking about is the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Sorry, the Two of Pentacles in reverse, which goes to the Ace of Pentacles. All your person thinking about is starting over, starting afresh. Because why? Justice in reverse. They realize things are never going to get better. That they're never going to get the kind of reciprocal love and care that they have been giving to the karmic energy. They're never going to get that. That's what they're seeing. That this person, because they lack self-awareness, is currently, and maybe forever because the narcissist came out, they're incapable of change. Let's look at their feelings for the karmic energy. So I'll get some of these cards and I'll clarify their feelings for the karmic. Well, we have solution oriented, right? So when your person thinks about the karmic, what they feel in their heart is that they have to find a solution. There's a problem and they have to figure out what's next. Your person's feelings for the karmic, codependent. So what they're realizing now is that what they thought was love was really their trauma. What they thought was living was really survival, right? So they're realizing just how crazy and toxic and dysfunctional this whole relationship is. This whole relationship was. Now that they've gotten time to really step back and evaluate things from a place of objectivity and from a place of being centered. Because remember, this is the first time that their masculine and feminine energies are working in tandem, right? That they have unity within themselves. So they've been able to step back and evaluate things objectively, and they're seeing that what they thought was love was really their trauma being played out. What else? What are they feeling? Heart space energy. Now they are jealous. Now it could be that they see that the karmic is jealous, or they may still be quite attached to the karmic, and thinking of the karmic being with somebody else makes them feel jealous. And maybe that's part of them. That's part of the reason why they're hesitating. It could be that. I will clarify for you, okay? We have depressed. So this could be how they feel, or they may see the karmic as having some kind of untreated depression. And then we have on the defense, what we already got before, like the second card, that they are closed off to the karmic right now. They are in battle mode where the karmic is concerned. They don't trust this karmic at all. They think that this karmic is capable of anything. All right, so let's see this codependent energy here. Spirit, tell us a little bit about this. We have the High Priestess in reverse. And when the High Priestess is in reverse, because upright, yeah, she can talk about intuition, it can talk about being mysterious, but it can also talk about the fog, it can also talk about the illusion, it can talk about the veil. So this is the scales falling away from your person's eyes, and then now seeing just how crazy this whole situation was. Right? Now that they're healed, you see, your person, because they felt so attached to the karmic and so possessive and got jealous really easy where the karmic was concerned, they interpret that to mean that they were in love with the karmic. But no, this is what attachment does. Love liberates. This is what attachment does. So they thought, because they felt so jealous and so possessive where the karmic was concerned, this must be love. And certainly that is a messaging that we get from society. That from the time we feel so jealous and so attached, this must be love. But no, it's not. So now that they're healing, right? They're seeing everything in a different light. Yeah, they're seeing the truth. They're seeing the truth. Now, who is depressed here? We have the Ace of Swords in reverse. We have the Ace of Wands in reverse. And we have the Seven of Wands. Okay, your person's feeling depressed. Even though they are in battle mode. Okay, they are in battle mode. Even though they're in battle mode, they feel drained. And they feel betrayed. They feel like this karmic misled them, deliberately misled them, especially in the beginning. That this karmic had taken on a false identity, and basically told them what they wanted to hear. And they feel depressed that they invested in something that wasn't even real. So right now, they don't want to hear shit from the karmic. They don't hear shit about the karmic. Okay? They are just recognizing just how much of a gold digger this karmic was. And they are now just investing their pentacles, time, and energy in themselves and getting themselves into a more stable state of mind, and a more stable space. So for some of you guys, your person might be moving out, okay, because they can't stay physically in the chaos. Okay, all right. Now, so this is everything about how your person is feeling, right? And their thoughts and feelings for the karmic. But how is the karmic viewing or perceiving them at this time and the situation? We have the Four of Pentacles. They're not letting go. I think this came out in part one too. Four of One, that's their love, right? That's their baby, that's their hubby, their wifey, their spousey. They're not letting this go. Okay. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. They see this person as their gravy train, right? This is this person is their livelihood. This person is their stability. And they ain't going nowhere. Chariot in reverse. As far as this karmic is concerned, they ain't going nowhere. They have a death grip on your person and they are not letting go. And it has nothing to do with love. Did you see any cups energy here? Any love? No. It has nothing to do with love. That is their livelihood. That is their sense of status. There's something about this relationship that gives the karmic status. But being in a relationship gives you status in society, doesn't it? That's how society is built. When you're not in a relationship, right? Something's wrong with you, right? Crazy. Anyway, it says here, limitation is power. Lean into your limitations. So what Spirit is trying to tell you here? So this is a message for you. Is that sometimes you may find yourself not being able to go where you want to go, right? So maybe you may have experienced some blockages in manifesting this relationship or grounding this relationship. Spirit is saying that is purposeful and lean into it because you're being blocked for a reason. Okay, and as we can see here, you were being blocked from getting involved in this crazy ass unstable connection here. We have silence in the mind. Let silence guide you to your inner peace. Let's see what that's all about. So maybe you might be doing a lot of speculation right now, but Spirit is saying, that makes no sense. You're just going to drive yourself crazy. Let's see what's going on. Silence in the mind. A card. It was on page 115, which reduced to 7. So that's the Chariot moving forward. Okay, let's see. Why does Spirit want you to silence the mind? Silencing the mind. This oracle comes to you to set you free from uncharitable words and encourage you to silence when you face prejudiced adversity. Let peace surround you, guard your sanctuary, and avoid dwelling on negative thoughts. Instead of a defensive or vengeful response, create a peaceful atmosphere where you can be what you truly are. Listen to your heart. Let the source of life draw you into a nurturing embrace. So, Spirit saying, if at all, the shit that's happening here, if at all, when it hits the fan, it starts flying in your direction and people start coming at you aggressively. Spirit saying the best response is no response. Ignore their ass, right? Don't give them your energy. It says, dear one, by silencing your mind, you become more alert and sensitive to your surroundings. This is because a silent mind is devoid of judging, clinging, or rejecting. The silent mind is free from hatred, anger, jealousy, confusion, and conflict. When you're mindful of yourself judging in that moment, the judging will stop. Once you stop judging, you will naturally see things as they are. Eventually, your mind will redirect you towards harmonious living and meaningful relationships with others. Only then does life become more exciting because now you can fully experience each moment in its freshness. You can also see your relationships with others in a totally new light, which is, I think, what your person is doing. So Spirit is also asking you to do the same thing. Right now, clear your energy field. Find time for peaceful meditation. right? Find time to be still and allow the truth to flow through you, right? And then you're going to know which direction you need to head in. And it says here, rather than speaking, turn everything off and listen to the silence. Let it be an inner music that creates your mantra. Feel the calming energy flowing through you and allow it to relax your body and renew your spirit. Okay? All right, so the spirit in the midst of all this, the best thing you could do for yourself is to be calm. Don't worry about what these people might be doing or what your personal next move might be and all that kind of stuff. Just clear your mind and you're going to know exactly what direction you need to head in. And that shouldn't be predicated on what happens here. It should be because it benefits you. Okay? All right, my love, if you're able, join me in the extended where we're going to look at your connection because we're basically going to use the same format. If you're not able to join me in the extended, can I ask you to subscribe to the channel? Please put a like, even a dislike. That helps the channel grow as well. Or you can put an emoji down below in the comments or your own feedback. It helps the channel expand and grow. And I appreciate you guys. Take care. Bye. Hey, Pal 3, welcome to your reading. Okay, so if you choose the Dreams of the Nile Tarot and the Zangor fridge magnet, this is going to be your reading. So we're looking at what's happening with the third party at this time. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some significators. We're going to get some significators for a person and person's energy generally and the energy towards the third party. And this is just going to provide a framework within which we're going to interpret the messages that come through. So underneath the deck, we have the crow. Now the crow is the messenger. Now the crow also has a nasty habit. Well, I shouldn't say nasty habit. No, that's a raven. Our crow's the one that collects shiny things. I gotta Google, guys, because that is going to affect what I'm about to say. Give me a second. Is it crows or ravens? It is. Okay. I mean, they're saying it's a myth, but, that's what it's known for in the literature. So, crows are known for collecting shiny things. And what I'm getting with this card number 13, because the card number 13, which means transformation and change, is that your person may have been a collector of shiny things. There's some persons that they're hoarders, but they're hoarders of people. I call them love collectors, right? And they always have some sort of harem, or not even a harem, maybe a backup plan for the backup plan, or a safety net for the safety net, and then a safety net for the safety net, right? So I think that's the kind of person that your person was. They're just collecting people. They like to have a crowd of people chasing or vying for their attention at any given point in time. And it's just like the insurance agencies, when they compete, you win, right? So it's exactly that. So your person like to have these lots of competition going on between prospective partners, and that made them feel wanted, that made them feel valued. But this is something that they are transmuting and changing at this time. That's one message. The second message is that the crow is often in the mythology, in the literature, a portender of gloom and doom. Something is going to be destroyed. Something is going to die, or somebody is going to die. There's something bad that's going to happen, or maybe we perceive it as bad, but it brings about some sort of drastic change. And maybe this is the energy that your person is feeling right now. So let's have a look. Let's get a significator for your person's energy. And we have magic. I think this came out for pile 1 as the first card, right? And it's a card number 33. And card number 33 is about mastering your spiritual gift. So this is your person standing in their power as the magician. And what is the magician? The magician is a person that recognizes that I have autonomy over my life, and whatever I want to manifest, whatever I want to create, it's all within me to create it. I have the means, I have the power. There's nothing standing in my way except myself. It is somebody who is fully embodied. It is somebody who recognizes their power as a spiritual being having a human experience. So they're not limited by what the world tells them. They're not limited by their programming. They've broken free of those chains, and they are actualizing their transcendence over the material world. I'm gonna find a better way to put that, but that's the words that came. Those are the words that came through. I don't know. Okay, when I clarify, I think I'll articulate it better. But those are the words that came through. The energy towards you, and we have goblins in reverse. Now, this goblin card talks about our fears, or insecurities, the things that keep us awake at night. But because it's in reverse, it feels like their mind is at peace. They have made some sort of decision, and they're not really worried about anything negative happening. They're recognizing negativity as an illusion. Okay. All right, let's see. The energy towards you. This came out for pile 2. And it's the dry desert in reverse. So, why am I looking at the energy towards you? And we're supposed to be looking at the energy towards a third party. Maybe you are all that they're thinking about. Maybe you're all that they're thinking about right now. Maybe they're not even thinking about the third party. All right, so we're going to put this card in reserve for the extended, because this is how they feel about you. And I'll get another card to bolster that. I'll give it a slap here. Let's look at the energy towards the third party. Interesting. That's the first time I've done that today. We have storm fields, right? So, drama. Drama. And it feels like it's just a shitstorm. And that shitstorm is just stirring up everything that may have been swept underneath the carpet. Well, I see a home here, so maybe they do live together, but everything that's been swept underneath the carpet in this relationship, this shitstorm is stirring things up, right? Everything, every hidden resentment, it's all being stirred up right now. It's all being stirred up. Let's see what's going on. We have the magic prayer in reverse. And the magic prayer in reverse is a curse. Isn't it? The magic prayer in reverse is a curse. And it's a card number 32, which reduces to 5. And 5 is about challenge and change. You're in the thick of things. It's about adversity. So their energy towards the third party, they see this third party as a curse. Okay? I think maybe when they first met this third party, they thought that this was a wish come true, the answer to their prayers, but now they're saying it was a curse in disguise. And they were able to fool your person because your person was not connected to their discernment. Your person was there being a good time girl, a good time boy, a good time they, right? and not really feeling with their heart space as to the rightness of a particular situation. So when this person popped up in their life, maybe they checked their superficial boxes. Okay, they look cute. Okay, they have the potential to earn money. Okay, they can help me be socially mobile. That kind of those kinds of boxes, right? And not looking at the deeper compatibility of shared values, goals, respect, love, kindness, the things that make a relationship withstand, the storms of life, right? So now this that they thought was once a wish come true, they're seeing it's basically an albatross around their neck. And it feels like everything that they may can't even speak. Everything that they may have tried to build with the help of this third party, every venture that they may have tried to actualize, it feels like there's this shadow. My goodness. There's a shadow um that just kept looming over them. Everything just being rendered void. Maybe even if they wanted children, maybe that never actualized, or they started a new project, the project just couldn't get off the ground. And they just realized that just too late. Underneath the deck, we have Nine of Cups, and that's your person moving into self-love, right? So there's no need for collecting all these people to make you feel good, right? You can make yourself feel good. All right, Spirit, tell us about this magic card. And we have the Eight of Cups. Is it that? The Eight of Cups in reverse. And that talks about an energy of addiction, an energy of stuckness. And then we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. So what do I get with this? Your person is facing their stuff. What do I mean about stuff? I mean their baggage, and I mean their addictions. They're alchemizing that right now, okay? And for some of you, your person may have had a sex addiction. I mean, they call it love addiction too, right? Sometimes it's not just about the sex. Sometimes it's just having all these people around, just vying for your attention, right? Even in their friendships, right? Or in their social circle, they're just creating all these all these superficial relationships just so people are always kind of projecting onto them their love, their kindness, their encouragement, that kind of thing, but not creating any deeper bond in return. They just like having people around so that they feel good, one, and that they never feel alone, and that they will never be abandoned, because even if one person abandons them, then they still have the whole crowd, right? So they are facing their addictions, and they're facing what has been driving their addictions, which is their baggage. Okay, so this person is going to the root cause of why they do what they do, why they're in bondage, and they're alchemizing that. Now, because they are doing the work, when you start to do the work, your vibration changes, and you fall out of alignment with what and who you may have attracted before. This is why when you go through a spiritual awakening, you find a lot of relationships kind of fall into the wayside, because your vibration has changed, right? And familial bonds change, and romantic bonds change. And I think this is exactly what's happening here. Your person is no longer in the karmic energy where they're allowing their baggage, their pain, their trauma to dictate the trajectory of their life. Their vibration has changed, and because of that, they've now fallen out of alignment with this third party. And this third party is actually just kind of holding them back. Okay, we have the Two of Cups in reverse. Okay, so they're saying that this is a not love situation. This is a karmic bond that they have to break free from. What else are they getting with this curse energy? We have here the Six of Wands. They're recognizing that their ego chose the karmic and not their heart. Okay. So what we're going to look at now that we've set the foundation for this reading, we're going to look at what's happening in the karmic connection at this time. I think we got some insight. We heard that there's a shitstorm that's passing through that connection right now, stirring everything up. What else is happening? I don't read reversals in this deck. We have poverty, right? And this could talk about poverty as in a financial loss. We do have the Seven of Wands here, right? And Seven of Wands can talk about, being very defensive, and defensiveness always comes from a place of inferiority. So maybe we're getting some insight as to why your person may have been operating in poverty consciousness where relationships were concerned, because they always felt very insecure. And then we have, of course, 3 again, 23, which reduces to 5 again. So that is a confirmation of the adversity that your person is facing, and the lack that they are currently living in. So financial loss, poverty consciousness, it's all part of what your person is going through. So they're going through a really hard time. For some of them, they may have even lost their job. And this is making the karmic situation even worse. What's happening in that relationship? This card, this enemy card, this deception card, this deceit card came out for every single pile in this same position. Every single pile. What's happening in that connection? It is deceit. It is deception, right? Everybody in their corner planning or strategizing a way of getting the upper hand in the situation right now. But this is also recognizing some sort of self-deception. And you see, once you deceive yourself, other people are going to deceive you, right? So I think there's a recognition that there was some deception that happened here, some sort of illusion. And I remember I told you that your person thought that this karmic, this third party, was everything that they have ever wanted. But it was an illusion, was all a lie. What's happening here, Maze? Your person lost their way. And maybe even the person that they're with too. So everything is just up in the air right now. Everybody's feeling lost. Everybody's feeling disoriented. Because what they believe to be true is now ringing false. We have here the Nine of Cups. So what's happening here? Everybody's learning to love themselves. And when you love yourself, you can't choose what you were choosing before when you were in pain. And that's why everything is falling away. What do we have here? We have card number 12, and we have 2 owls. So everybody downloading wisdom from this experience. Everybody in hangman's mode right now, right? Whilst they look upon the trajectory of this relationship and recognize that there was never anything real or authentic about this connection. Both of them were hiding their true self away. Spirit, tell us about this deceit card. We have the Six of Swords. Okay. So now that your person is looking at life differently, and now that they've done healing, they're seeing how they wore a false mask in this connection. They won't be in their true, authentic self. And that's why they attracted someone who was also playing pretend. And together, they created a plastic relationship that didn't even last the first real storm that they had to go through together. So now your person feeling lost, right? We have here the king, yes, the king of cups. They know that they want real love, but they don't even know how to extricate themselves from the situation that they are currently in right now. Look them walking through the maze. And I think your person trying to work their way back to you here, right? But they don't even know how that's going to be done. We have the Eight of Swords. They feel absolutely trapped and bound by the situation. And what they're also realizing is that this person never loved them. Queen of Cups in reverse. This person never loved them. It was never about love. It was always about how they could use each other to get ahead. Your person loves themselves now. And this is what's manifesting the new beginning that's coming, right? We have the Queen of Swords, seeing things clearly, right? And you know, Queen of Swords, she is Miss Authentic, right? Take it or leave it. You like her, you don't. She doesn't care. That's a you problem, okay? But she's going to be authentic regardless, and she's going to speak the truth. Two of Swords in reverse. I think your person's kind of made up their mind as to what they need to do. But it's still a tough process for them, because even though they know where they need to go, sometimes it's very hard to say goodbye. I was just hearing Boyz II Men singing, "It's so hard to say goodbye." Sometimes it's very hard to say goodbye. Each person downloading truth and wisdom at this time. Ten of Wands in reverse. Recognizing how their baggage played a major role in what happened here. And we have the God of Truth, the King of Swords, right? Seeing everything clearly, right? Seeing everybody's motivations clearly, including their own. So what's happening right now is some emotional decluttering in your person's life, where they're dealing with their shit. They've not just locked it away in the storage room and pretending that everything is okay. For some of them, they might be seeking professional help at this time to help them power through this, to help them process this. And this is absolutely what they need to be doing right now. Now, when your person thinks about the karmic or the third party and the third party energy, what's on their mind? What's on their mind? We have the goddess of water in reverse. Okay, this is the Queen of Cups in reverse. And the Queen of Cups in reverse is someone who's emotionally manipulative. Okay, they know how to work you over, right? They know where your weak spots are. They know what's your trauma, what's your pain, and they have no qualms about using that to get what they want. Seven of Wands in reverse. No boundaries. There's nothing that this person, this third party, won't do to get their way. What do they think about this third party? We have the Moon in reverse. It feels like some secret was revealed about the third party. I'll pull a card on that. And this secret is part of what's catalyzing the breakdown of this relationship. And then we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. And the King of Pentacles is the energy of the gold digger. It is the energy of poverty consciousness. It's never enough, right? The material is never enough. They always want more. It is the energy of the hoarder, right? So remember we talked about your person being a hoarder at the beginning of this reading, and exactly what you're vibrating in is exactly what you're going to attract. So they attracted someone in the same vibration as them. Now, the King of Pentacles in reverse is also very jealous and very possessive, right? They don't just claim things, they claim people. Okay? So they see your person as their property, and they're not going to let them go without a fight. Spirit tells us about this Queen of Cups in reverse. And it says initiation in reverse. Okay, and it's a Fool in reverse, right? So this is someone who is kind of blocked off from their intuition, and they're blocked off from their intuition because they've allowed their childhood trauma and pain to basically shut down their heart space. Okay, so they're not able to feel, they're not able to connect with anyone. I think we got this message in pile 2 as well. Okay, they make very impulsive and foolish decisions because they don't really care about the consequences of their action once their immediate needs are met. 7 of Wands in reverse, right? They don't care what they have to do to feel in control, to feel empowered, even if it means transgressing somebody else's boundaries. They don't give a fuck, right? Whatever they want in the moment is what needs to take priority. Now, we see a message has been revealed, or a secret has been revealed about the karmic, and we have 3 of Wands in reverse. So it could definitely be that the third party may have had a third party, but this is also the energy of frustration. Okay? I think the third party might be very frustrated because your person isn't reacting to their usual machinations the same way. Your person has hacked the code, has cracked the code where this karmic is concerned. And they know that most of the things that the third party does is for some sort of reaction or for you to give them the energy, whether it's negative or positive. This third party does not care. Once you're giving them some sort of electrical charge, right? And your person realizes that now. So they're not reacting the same way. So this third part is just very frustrated. They don't know what else to do to get your person's attention. But they're not letting go though. 6 of Pentacles, mine, right? They're not letting go. This person is their bread and butter. And they're not letting this person slip through their hands very easily. Let's look at your person's feelings for the third party. When they think about this third party and think about this third party connection, what's going on in their heart space? What's going on in their heart space? Insecurities abound, right? Insecurities abound. I think they're realizing that they chose this third party from a place of feeling inferior and disempowered. When they think about the third party, what they feel, how they feel isolated. So they feel isolated, and maybe this third party, because that's the first thing that abusers do, don't they? They isolate you from friends and family so you don't have any support, right? So that you are easy to be programmed, right? It's just like a cult. You're easy to be programmed. So they feel isolated, alone, and unsupported. And maybe this third party may have done everything to sabotage your person's relationships. Okay? Power hungry. They're trying to regain the upper hand in this connection, right? And your person is ashamed. I think what they're ashamed of is that they allowed this third party to wield so much power over them and to control them for so long. They're also sad that, it's come to this and that this relationship has to fall away, because at one point in time, this person was very important to your person, okay? All right, why is your person feeling isolated? Let's clarify. Why is your person feeling isolated? What's this? I don't even know what this is. I think this is Seven of Swords in reverse. Yet now that they are embodying their truth, all these false people, the false life that they've been living, all the dysfunctional family members that they were entertaining, it's all falling away. And it's one of the first things that happen when you have a spiritual awakening, isn't it? Now that your belief shifts and you're no longer the same person, all your friendships, they just kind of dissolve. Well, the fake ones anyway. And that's what's happening with your person. They may have even been ostracized at this time. Nobody's in their corner, not getting support, because they have moved away from the thinking or the programming of the tribe or the community that they grew up in. They see this third party as power hungry, right? And your person can see it clearly. Your person is embodying the Queen of Swords right now. And the Queen of Swords can smell bullshit from a mile away. So they are not fooled by anything that the third party is doing right now. They see it for what it is, and they are not playing that game. Now, your person's ashamed, okay? What are they ashamed of? They're ashamed of how they treated you, right? The Queen of Wands, right? They're ashamed that they may have misused their power, because now they know what it feels like when somebody misuses power. They've been on the receiving end of that, right? So they're ashamed of who they were. Perhaps when you guys first met. They're feeling sad. Six of Wands in reverse. But this sad feels like depression, because Six of Wands in reverse is the ego death. Okay? So they're feeling sad right now. Because this is not how they wanted things to turn out. This is not how they imagined things being. They thought that, this person was the love of their life, and they would be this power couple and build this empire together, and they would have a legacy to pass this on to, and all of that, and just never happened. Didn't happen. Didn't actualize. All right, so that's how your person is viewing the third party. How's the third party viewing them, though? We have the Ace of Pentacles. Now it came outside of it. I'm going to leave it like that because that makes sense. They don't know what's going to happen. Ace of Pentacles. Maybe it is supposed to be upright. And that makes sense. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. Eight of Cups in reverse. And Two of Cups in reverse. They perceive this connection dying, right? And they know that your person is trying to generate a new beginning that is based on truth. They see that. They see that. I don't think your person is making a secret of that. But they don't want your person to go. Eight of Cups in reverse. They don't want your person to go. They don't care how dysfunctional it is. At least they're together. They don't want your person to go. They think that they can bring this back. They think that, through communication, through dialogue, they can bring this back from the dead. That's what they're saying. So they're acknowledging, yeah, they're going through some tough times, but they think that they can bring this back together. So in the extended, we're going to look at your connection, okay? And we're going to basically use the same format. The only difference is that after we've gone through the format, we're going to look at what's going to be your person's next actions in the third party relationship within a month of you watching this reading. And we're going to look at what's going to be your person's next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading. If you're not able to join me in the extended, this is going to be your advice from Spirit. And it says here, a balanced life. So some of you guys have not been taking time out to really look after yourself. Maybe you've been workaholics. I'm a recovering workaholic myself, so I understand that. But, you know, your health, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health has to be at the forefront of your mind at all times. Because let me tell you something. If something happens to you, your workplace will replace you in the morning. Okay, I saw it myself. I've seen it myself over and over again. They will replace you in the morning, right? In your workplace, you are an appliance, you are a tool that they will use until the tool can no longer function. So you always have to be your advocate, your best advocate for your health. All right, so let's see. What does Spirit want you to know? The energy of love. Behold the world through the eyes of love, right? So I think what Spirit is saying, you know, sometimes we're quick to rush to judgment, and it's easy for us to demonize everybody that is in this particular matrix right now, right? You demonize yourself, demonize a person, demonize a karmic. It's easy to do that, right? But when you look at a situation through the eyes of love, you recognize that everybody comes with a story. Everybody has a beginning. Everybody has trauma. Everybody has pain, and everything that we see as a manifestation of that, whether you see the positive when they're working through it, or you see the negative when they're in the throes of it and it's controlling their life. Everything that is, we see, people are one-dimensional, right? And when we recognize that everybody has a story, we're going to be less judgmental of the things that they're doing and the things that they may be saying, okay? And also less judgmental of ourselves, right? So this is also about honoring your own story. And it says the energy of love, card number 58, and 58 reaches to 13, which is transformation and change. So let's read card number 58 and the energy of love. This oracle speaks to you of opening your heart to the true value of love in your life. It offers you sweet advice. Do not want for love in your own self-satisfaction, wealth, or affluence. Otherwise, you will center your life on fear and greed. When you find a beloved through the light of love that is inside your heart, your whole existence will become an expression of your beloved. When you feel that love within your heart, the chemistry flows through you, and your creativity will be heightened. Truly, this happens, and you will feel the breath of the beloved mingling with your own. Dear one, congratulate yourself because you are destined to meet an unconditional love within your heart, which is both renewing and transforming. A sacred light will surround you and your beloved, anointing and blessing your time together. The experience can be overwhelming and even disorienting, but it will send you soaring, as if you're wrapped in the circling presence of a truly divine energy. When you are blessed with such an unconditional love, feel the awareness within yourself and notice the aura that surrounds your being. Let love become your guide and dare to follow it. What appears in your beloved will also manifest in you. So what's appearing in your beloved right now is transformation and change, and them loving themselves enough to move forward. So it's also going to be possibly apparent within you. Know that one glance from a beloved can clear everything else from your mind, and you're able to center your heart. And the mantra here is, I am open to, and aware of the rising energy of love. I'm awake to the thrill of feeling the beloved everywhere. I rejoice and celebrate the beauty and wonder of being awakened by love. And this person truly awakened you. And you don't have to be with them to embody the love that they have awakened within you, right? You can feel it within yourself. You can embody it. You can share it. Your heart is limitless. Okay? Amela, so that was your reading. I hope that was helpful. Can I ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't? And please click on the notification bell so that you are notified every time I upload a reading. Okay? Amela, take care.